Hello, this is Mr. Blake doing my series of retesting videos for those of you that need to retake the physical world exam or test. This particular section here is specifically for landforms and water bodies. So if your instructor said that you're probably going to have to test over that particular section of the physical world, then this is what you need to be paying attention to. I'm making these for you in the event that maybe you missed that Panther Den, Zoom doesn't work, or whatever the reason. I'm making these so that you can watch these on your own if you want, to give you some help, something to study with for retaking the test in Panther Den. So as I said, this is for landforms and water bodies, and what we are going to focus on are the ones that people seem to have the most trouble thinking about or kind of visualizing what they are. And I'm going to start off with landforms. And one of them that people struggle with is the concept of the isthmus. Isthmus, that's fun to say. And what it is, it's think of it like a little land bridge that connects two large land masses of some kind, and like a bridge, it has water to either side of it. So this kind of like a thin piece of land that connects larger pieces of land between two pieces of water. Probably the best example I can think of is think about North America and South America. Those are very large land masses, and they're connected by a thin strip of land that is Central America. And so that little strip of land between North America and South America is an isthmus. So if that helps you visualize it a little bit. A strait is a water body that's kind of the opposite of what the isthmus is. It is a narrow strip of water between two land masses that connect two large bodies of water. And there are a lot of these around that you might think of. There is the Florida Straits in between the state of Florida and the island of Cuba, for instance. So there's a little narrow strip of water between those two land masses. Amongst others. But if you think about where you have two big pieces of land separated by a thin strip of water, think like the English Channel, for instance, would be considered a strait. England's on one side, France is on the other, and there's that narrow strip of water in between. That would be a strait. Okay. Another problem people seem to get stuck on was the idea of a delta. And they couldn't identify exactly where it was. So let me walk you through this one. Deltas are little sets of islands that form at the mouth of rivers as they enter into the sea or the ocean. And you got to remember that rivers are usually carrying a whole lot of sediment through water erosion, right? This stuff is coming down from the mountains and from wherever it's coming from, and there's a lot of dirt in the water. And as rivers tend to get or approach an ocean or a sea, the land tends to kind of flatten out, and the water suddenly starts not running very, very fast, and it can't hold as much dirt and sediment in it anymore, and it begins to settle out onto the bottom. And so you get layers upon layers of sediment deposition. Deposition is that sediment settling to the bottom. And eventually, what will happen is you will have those layers build up to the point where they start forming islands. And a river delta is those sets of islands at the very end of a river. So at the mouth of the river. And there's lots of examples of these around the world. The Nile in Egypt has a very, very famous delta as it empties into the Mediterranean Sea. Think about the Mississippi River in North America as it empties out into the Gulf of Mexico. There's a delta there about where New Orleans is. So there's lots and lots of examples of these around the world. All of these areas have very rich soil of these sedimentary or sediment soils that pile up along the rivers. And you know what? I think that's really about it. So think about those landforms and those water bodies that I was talking about, and think about how river deltas form. And hopefully that will get you through this whole thing. So I wish you well in the retake, and I hope that you can use this as a resource, as a study guide, however you want to use it. It's for you. Good luck.